Good evening, everybody. Matt M. Roy back once again. Wow, 9 watchers and 7 likes. That is awesome. Wow, I got a lot of people here. Chris Bartlett, Stephen Barber, Chris Bartlett. Wow, you really commenting here. Let me see what you got. My dad actually broke the window on my PT Cruiser accidentally. He literally rolled it into our fifth wheel hitch. The hitch hit the windshield right above the driver's side and cracked it. So, yeah, it was a bummer, but we got it fixed. How much did it cost? It's $180, and that was to the door and installed. So we kind of got lucky there. Uh-oh. Stephen Barber said they found out why their server was offline. Thought it was an intruder. So it shut the network switch down for security. Yep, I've heard that happen. Hopefully it wasn't anything major. It doesn't sound like it to me. Chris is here again. Oh, wow. Echo. We got a lot of people commenting here. $500 to replace it in Australia. Wow. Yeah, you got to price it. You got to price it out. Here, I think the most expensive one was from Safelite. They wanted like $320. And I kept calling around, and I actually got the windshield done from a local glass company, and it set me back, like I said, about $180 after tax. I did hear about Stan Lee passing away. That was sad, but he was 95 years old. That man had a really good long life, so can't be too sad about that. Well. 170, yeah. Depends on the vehicle. The PT Cruiser has a pretty small windshield, so I didn't expect it to cost too much. Other than that, we've done all right with it. We haven't been able to work as much because the weather's been lousy, and of course we're waiting on parts. The timing belt kit just came in today, which we're going to have Dillingers do, and I know they'll do a good job. They always do. But we haven't gotten the taillights in yet. We're still waiting on there was something else there. I can't think right now. But the taillights and a few other parts. Let me pull up the list from eBay. Waiting on the taillights. Well, I got the time belt kit on. I'm waiting on the taillights. I'm waiting on the prolonged transmission treatment, which I do want to put in right away. I talked to a few people online, and they said that's the best thing to do for any vehicle that has over 100,000 miles is to put in that transmission treatment. It'll help it shift smooth. Though this PT Cruiser doesn't have any issues with the transmission. I just want to do it as a preventative measure. Yeah, poor California with those wildfires. I mean, that's terrible. I saw a picture on the news this morning of Gerard Butler. His house burnt to the ground, and he took like a selfie. In the background was what was left of his house, and he was trying to show a stiff upper lip, but you could tell he was really upset. I have never heard about auto shops creating 3D printed parts. That's a new one on me. I can imagine they probably wouldn't hold up that well because they're probably not using the greatest metal to start with. I wouldn't like that at all. Very dry again tonight. Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers lost his house too. Unbelievable. I didn't hear that one. I heard about Gerard Butler. I know a lot of actors did, unfortunately. Lucky for them, I'm sure they're all well insured, so they're probably going to be getting a lot of money from the insurance companies, once it goes through. Let me look up something here real quick. Yeah, I'm just looking at something. I really need to update my channel trailer. I just saw it the other day, and it's like from 2015, and it was before I really started to lose the weight. So yeah, that's something that's going to have to be done soon. Try to work on that tomorrow. Just not enough hours in the day. I appreciate it, Eric, about looking out for the stock radio. I have a friend that has one that I think I'm going to get from him when we get back from New York, probably after Thanksgiving. I appreciate it all the same. I'm not going to be doing anything with that radio. At least the one that's in there works fine, except for the fact, like I said, the little cover is missing over the LED screen. But it still works fine. I'm in no rush to get that changed out. Charlie Lipinski's here. Who else do we have here? But I mean, other than that, everything else has been going well. Again, the weather here has been abysmally bad. I'm going to pull up the local weather forecast, and I'll tell you guys what we're having to deal with right now. We have rain tonight, 90% chance tomorrow, 30% chance on Wednesday. So it might be able to get some work done Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, again, 80% heavy rain. Friday is 10%, so not much there. And Saturday is nothing. Actually, Saturday is the pick of the week. Temperatures are ranging anywhere from as high as 63 to a low of 40. So we have a big range. We run the gamut of temperatures this time of year. It's crazy. Max asks, I have a probably stupid question. We'll see about that. But so I went to train in a Dell E6530 with an i5 2.7 gigahertz, and the store said they were not worth anything. Even eBay, they aren't. So do you agree with this? If it's got an i5, it's worth something. Depends on the generation, but even like a second or third gen i5 should still bring $200-300 on the open market. They're probably just trying to lowball you. I mean, they're not ridiculously pricey. I see them going for 150. There's one for 260 on eBay. You got to realize something. It depends on what you have installed. You know, the hardware itself is only worth so much, but if you put the time and effort in to reload Windows, load up some good antivirus software, put on, Microsoft Office, or at the very least something like LibreOffice or OpenOffice. Set it up so the person is it's ready to use for the next person. Then you're going to get a lot more money for it. Eric Brunhammer is looking at a rain snow mix. Ugh. I'm hoping we can hold off on snow for a while. I know there's a good chance of it when we go up north. It always happens that we seem to get snow. Adam Whitaker fixed his graphics card. Nice. They're not easy to work on sometimes. I remember the i7 2600K. Isn't that I don't think that's a Sandy Bridge. It's funny. It's not. I'm not finding it. It is Sandy Bridge. That's what I thought. I thought that was a Sandy Bridge. Uh-oh, Eric, what'd you do? What'd you do? You've been speeding? Shame, shame, shame. We'll probably all get one sometime in our lives. I've never got one. Honestly, never gotten a speeding ticket. Hopefully, I never will. I don't know. We'll have to see. I tend to have somewhat of a lead foot at times, to be honest with you. 72 and a 50. So technically, they could have given you a reckless driving ticket, at least in the state of Virginia. Anything over 20 miles an hour is reckless driving. $600p Nikon for $20, normally $900. That's a good deal. I tell you, garage sales, Craigslist, eBay, you can find good deals. Though honestly, lately I think garage sales have been my best bet. I'm still waiting on this lady that has two Macs, two iMacs. One is basically brand new, and three PCs. She's local, and she wanted me to come over there and offer her a bulk price for everything and also do some work. But she called me. I couldn't answer the phone. She left a message, and I've called twice and still haven't heard anything from her. So I don't know what the heck's going on there. People can be weird like that sometimes. I mean, they're like, they only want to talk to you when they want to talk to you. And I get it. We all have things that happen in our lives. There are times where I don't feel like talking to anybody, but it's just common courtesy to answer somebody's message. And I always do. It may take a day, but I will always answer a message if I get it. Oh, that was nice when he knocked it down to a 55 and a 50. Yeah, a lot of the cops will do that. They are not going to arrest you unless you're doing something super, super dangerous. I wouldn't consider a 72 and a 50 that dangerous, even though technically it is reckless driving. Paul Kane has a note from his mom. Well, I want to see that note. You're fine. Hope Jonathan Grindle hopes I can find him a MacBook Pro for cheap. Excuse me. I doubt it. They are not cheap anywhere. People who have Macs, buy Macs, have them, even if they're given to them, if they get it given to them, they know what they're worth and they want a lot of money, usually more than they're even worth. No plans to upgrade to an ultra wide. Don't care about it. I have my monitor set up just the way I want. Oh yeah, I think I would be speeding too if I was going for some muscle relaxers. Those things can be fun. And when I say fun, really fun. That's all I'm going to say about that. T3500 had an X5650. Do any of yours have it? This is JFZ22. No, the ones I have the X Radeon HD 5450s in them, most of them. Few of them had NVIDIA Quattro K600s, and the other ones had the Quattro 500 series, something like that. Paul Kane's on a 10-year-old Mac. They do last. I have no doubts about that. They are definitely long-lasting computers. I used to have a Mac Mini, but I didn't have it for long. Again, I'm not a Mac person. You guys, if you talk about Macs, I can only lend a very little to that conversation because I am just not a Mac person. Looks like Stephen Barber's getting some scam calls. I have not stopped getting scam calls, especially with this new open enrollment period that they got going on now. That's all they've been doing is calling about me. Do you know that you can save X amount of dollars on your health insurance? Call this number or stay on the line and we'll connect you with a representative that can help you. It's driving me crazy. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Some people need it, but I know what I need to do. It's just, it gets really annoying after a while. Yeah, I mean, I have an app on my phone that blocks them, but it doesn't get them all. It honestly does not get them all. And the reason it doesn't is a lot of these scam callers, quote unquote scam callers, spoof the system by using local numbers. So whatever my when I get these calls, it actually has a local area code, and that's how they get by those systems. No problem. That's a wrap. I'll do my best to help you guys out as much as I possibly can. The app that I use to block scam callers is the one that's built in. It's an AT&T Call Protect app, but you can only use that if you're an AT&T customer. There are other free ones out there. You just have to search for them. Stephen Barber says it's more on my house phone, but my house phone is usually on call screening, so they have to answer a code. Usually it works perfectly, but I was waiting on call from somebody, so I had to turn it back on. Yeah, yeah. A lot of the scam calls do come nowadays through the house phone, but I've still been getting quite a few on my cell phone too. It's actually both. There we go. If I'm going like this, you guys can see me better if I angle the webcam down more. Yeah, it's sad about Stan Lee, but again, I'm not that upset. He was 95 years old and he lived a full, long life. If I make it to 95, I'll consider myself lucky. Oh, let me see. Wow, we got a lot of chats here. 25 watchers, 8 likes. That's awesome. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm thinking we're going to do another one of these in a few weeks, but I'm going to have to take it easy because we're going to be leaving town. That is, Mom and I are going to be leaving town going up to my uncle's for Thanksgiving. T-Mobile has a built-in one that shows scam likely, but most of the calls are local, same as my phone. That's the problem that I'm having. A lot of these scammers are getting really, really smart. No, not really into anime. I mean, I watched heavy metal. That's about it. That's as far as my anime experience goes. Oh, excuse me. Been having some stomach related issues lately. I don't think it's anything serious. I've been eating a little bit junkier lately because my blood sugar has been dipping so much at night that I need to make sure I eat enough sugar to keep the levels up till I can eat breakfast the next day. And I've noticed that ever since I started eating junkier, my stomach is a little more tore up. I'm actually more regular, but my body's like rejecting the junk food. So I'm gonna have to find that sweet balance between eating enough to keep the sugars up and staying away from a lot of that junk food. And when I say junk food, honestly, I've probably had about 6 Twinkies over the last few days, and they're not the real big ones. They're like the miniature ones. Actually, you can get two for the suggested serving. I think it's 200 calories for two of them. And they're not like regular Twinkies. I cannot stand regular Twinkies. These are chocolate peanut butter Twinkies, which I've never actually heard of before, but man, are they good. I actually have a surprise for you guys tomorrow. I'll tell you on the live stream, but it'll be more of a surprise for those that don't watch it. I'm going to be doing a food review tomorrow, and it's going to be from McDonald's, and it's going to be for a limited time item that they bring back every once in a while. Now, you guys should be able to guess what it is just by what I said. Chris Barlow says, too much garlic does that to me. You should have a small food before bed the proper way if you're a diabetic. They teach that. I don't though. Yeah, I can't eat. I cannot eat before bed. If I eat a meal or anything before bed, I won't be able to sleep. It's interesting what you said about garlic because I do eat a lot of garlic, especially in my 15 bean soup, which I'm making again. That's garlic, which is gassy, and the beans, which is gassy, and tomato. So it's like the trifecta. I wonder if that's what's causing it. I may have to hold off on eating that for a couple of days. See if that clears up my little stomach upset. It's possible. You never know. Got to split, Matt. Have to watch the separate video on the Silver Beast. All right, Paul. That's fine. I'll see you on the next live stream. Yep, you guys got it. It's the McRib. I got to get one. I know everybody's going to say, oh, it's not a real rib sandwich. It's this and that. It's just a piece of slurry meat. That may be true, but it's a delicious piece of slurry meat that I want to get into my belly at least once before they put it back in the McVault. Chris Bartlett said, I had lots of garlic the other day at Pizza Hut, 6 pieces. Oh, the garlic knots? Oh, man, those are good. Does your Pizza Hut, I don't know about the ones where you live, but here in the States, we have those on the buffet. Our Pizza Hut does a buffet during lunch. They do a Pizza Hut buffet from like 11 to 1:30 or 11 to 2. It's weird hours. But not only do they have the garlic knots, they actually have dessert knots. They actually take the same garlic knots, like the bread, I guess you could call it, and they put icing and cinnamon on top of it. And that is so good. It is so fattening, but it is so good. I want one like I'm craving one now just talking about it. John the Griddle says, wish they bring back the daily double burger at McDonald's. Never heard of that one. The McDouble is what we have here, and that you can get for like $1.20. It used to be you could get McDonald's double cheeseburger for $1, and that was 5-6 years ago before they even had the McDouble. And that was a really good deal because the double cheeseburger was about 20-25% bigger than the McDouble. And for $1, I mean, you could buy 2 of those and make a meal out of it. For $2, you had your entire meal. I mean, you'd gain weight if you did that every day, but you know, if you were down on your luck, you didn't have any money to spend on food, at least it's something to put in your belly. And honestly, that's the biggest problem, at least in this country. And a big reason why people are so obese and overweight in general is because it is still cheaper to go out to a fast food restaurant and order off the dollar menu. I mean, going to McDonald's, I'm talking about McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, Wendy's, they all have these dollar menus that have really good tasting food for really cheap. And unfortunately, the really good tasting food on the dollar menu is full of fat, sugar, salt, the stuff that adds the weight to you. And the sad fact of it is, a lot of people just can't afford to eat better. I mean, before I had a more steady stream of income, that's what I would do because, you know, for a while, I was living on $100 a week, which is not a lot of money. And I had to make that stretch as far as I could. And I'm not a politician. I don't have all the answers, but I think where we have to start when it comes to fitness is making the better food cheaper and making the junkier food more expensive, because that's going to deter people from eating that junk food. It will. They're going to eat whatever they can afford. And I've seen this happen so many times. Excuse me. Ugh. I am still fighting with allergies. It's not a cold, but allergies this time of year is terrible. Ruben wants McDonald's to bring back fish bites. I don't even remember fish bites. They may not have had them here on the East Coast. I never liked the fish sandwich at McDonald's. My grandmother, I'll never forget, in her later years, when she was starting to suffer from dementia, I guess you would call it, there were times that she would crave a fish sandwich, and we would go out to McDonald's. And of course, she had mobility issues, so what we do is we order it at the drive-through and then eat it in the car. And just the smell of it made me want to vomit. I couldn't even imagine what type of fish they're using in those sandwiches because they were still pretty cheap. I think at the time it was like $2, and I'm like, a $2 fish sandwich? Do you really want to trust a $2 fish sandwich? They're probably using the cheapest tilapia or whiting fish that you probably would, if you saw it before it was cooked and fried, and you probably wouldn't even eat it, honestly. Stephen Barber is not a fan of McDonald's. He likes Checkers and Five Guys. We don't have Checkers around here, but we do have Five Guys. And I have to say, I love Five Guys burgers. Probably one of the only burgers I still like. I don't hardly eat burgers at all anymore. I think the last burger type thing I ate was the last time we went to Texas Roadhouse a few weeks back. And I had gotten the roadkill, which is basically Salisbury steak, and they put onions and mushrooms and gravy on it. But it's like the best Salisbury steak you'll ever have. They actually take a piece of like sirloin steak and they grind it up and reform it into like a burger patty. And I have to say that was really, really good. I haven't been doing very well going off of beef. I found that I did miss it. So instead of not eating it at all, I'm limiting myself to eating it like once a week. I may in the future try to just give it up altogether, but I found that my body kind of started craving it. So we'll see what happens. Um, Oh, I did want to tell you. I know I mentioned that I was going down to this Route 58 deli down in Virginia Beach. We actually went there with my friend, the one that you guys saw in the vlog earlier. Don't tell her I got her in there. Um, and I'll be honest with you, I was very disappointed with it. It was your typical Jewish deli like you would find in New York City, but the food was nowhere near as good. And being from New York, I could tell you that there was a big difference. We all started with the matzo ball soup. And I have to say the matzo ball soup was actually really good. The matzo ball was well formed. It wasn't overly dense like some of them tended to be. The broth was a little on the bland side, so I had to add a little bit of salt. But other than that, it was pretty much spot on. Where the failures came was when I ordered my chicken salad sandwich, which I usually get whenever I go to a Jewish deli. I always order the chicken salad. That's my go-to meal. And I got it. And to give you the positive thing first, the rye bread was spot on. It was nice and crispy. The crust was crispy. You could tell it was really fresh, but the chicken salad itself had absolutely no flavor. It's like they didn't even put any seasoning in it. It was literally just like they shredded the chicken, threw mayonnaise in, threw some celery and onion in, slapped it on the sandwich, and gave it to me. It was so disappointing. And I know that's not the way it's supposed to be. So I honestly don't know if I'll go back again. I did try both my parents got the pastrami sandwich, and that was heavenly. So if I do decide to go back again, I'll probably get that instead of the chicken salad. I see we lost some watchers. I guess they didn't like hear me ramble on about chicken salad sandwiches. George Blakely said there is a Chinese chef in Moby Dick where I am. They have good fish. Interesting. A lot of the Chinese restaurants where we are have very good fish. As a matter of fact, the local one called Buffet City on their buffet has always has fried fish, and it is usually fantastic. Very well breaded and not overly breaded. A lot of these restaurants will put too much breading on, like it won't have a good fish to breading ratio. This one is spot on. There might be like a 80-20 split, 80% fish, 20% breading. And that's about what I like to see. And they use a good quality fish. I was told it was either haddock or cod usually. So I was shocked because those are two very, very expensive cuts of fish. But if that's true, then you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck. And that's another thing I want to tell you guys. Matter of fact, I need to run downstairs in a minute because I want to share the results of my physical with you. I try to be as transparent as possible. And if for me not to share that with you, I feel like I would be doing you guys a disservice just to show you guys how well I've been doing on this lifestyle change. Let me go run downstairs real quick. I'm not going anywhere. Let me run downstairs real quick and get that paperwork. I'm back. How many people did we lose? I saw a couple people tuned off when I left. It was funny. I went downstairs and Milo was sitting on the back of the recliner where Dad's sitting. It was so cute. I should have snapped a picture, but I wanted to get back here so I could share these results with you. I basically went and had a metabolic. It's called a comprehensive metabolic panel. Basically, that goes through everything and tells how my metabolism is working. So my overall cholesterol was, we'll start with that, is 144. Now, anything under 200 is good. Their range is 110 to 200. So I'm actually on the lower end of that. Before I started this lifestyle change, my cholesterol was actually right there. So I never had issues with that. Now, here's something that you guys are going to want to take to heart because this is living proof that this actually works. I've been eating oatmeal for breakfast every day except for Saturdays. Saturdays when we go out to the restaurant and I usually get pancakes and sausage. But every other day for breakfast, I always have oatmeal. And by doing that, I was able to lower my LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. Last time I got it done 6 months ago, it was 103, and they want it to be under 100. Now it's 93. So I was able to lower it 10 points and get it back into the good range just by eating oatmeal in the mornings. And honestly, between then and now, I've actually added more junk food and more fattening food to my diet. That just shows you how much oatmeal helps. Oatmeal basically cleans your entire system out. It actually sweeps your arteries and your veins. It sweeps the fat out of there. And that's living proof right there. Jonathan said, yuck, can't stand oatmeal. You know what? I was not a big fan of oatmeal either but I kind of forced myself to do it. I started by eating the real sweet oatmeal like you get, the real sweet instant oatmeal, what is it? The the one with the Quaker, the real Quaker, like the peaches and cream. And then when I got used to that, I switched more to the subtle ones like the steel cut, and that's what I actually eat now. I went to the maple and brown sugar, and now I just eat the plain oatmeal and I add a little bit of real maple syrup to it. It can be done, believe me. You can learn to eat anything. Chris Bartlett said, I eat wheat Bix for my breakfast. I have heard of that before. I don't know if we can get that here in the States or not. Wheat Bix. Whole grain cereal. Yeah, I think that's kind of a Australia, New Zealand type thing. Where did we leave off here? Glucose. So that's the blood sugar. It was 85. So that's perfect. Again, the normal range there is 70 to 99. So I'm right in the middle. That's where I needed to be. The other stuff probably won't mean much to you, but like the my kidney functions all normal. That always was normal. The globulin is good. That's yep, right in range. I mean, it's really amazing to how well this has worked. And the big thing, the real big thing that's gone down is my A1C. Now, for those of you that are not diabetic, the A1C is a 3-month test of your blood sugars. Basically, it'll tell them how well you're managing your diabetes, quote unquote diabetes. um, the range for that is between 4.8 and 5.9. That's normal. Anything over 5.9, you're pre-diabetic, and then if you're over 6.5, you're type 2, you are diabetic, basically. My A1C this time was 5.0. And just so you guys don't think I'm fibbing, you can see it right there. If I can get a good shot of it, 5.0 says it right there. That's amazing considering I don't take any medication for this at all anymore. And the reason I'm sharing these results with you guys is if you're struggling the same way that I've been over the years and you're trying to lose weight, this is proof right here that it is never too late to change your lifestyle. And I think there was one other thing I wanted to share with you guys. Where was it here? Triglycerides. That was another big one. When I was morbidly obese, and yes, I was morbidly obese, my triglycerides were off the chart. The reference range, in other words, the normal range, is between 40 and 149. My triglycerides were 175, closer to 180, and now they are 75. It's amazing. I'm telling you, that all you got to do is change a few things in your life, and it makes a huge difference. Wheat Bix, it's crushed wheat. Okay, yeah, we have that here too. It's just called usually like Wheatables or Wheat X. There are a lot of different names for it. I can't. It's funny. I can eat oatmeal in the morning, but I can't eat cold cereal because I can't have the milk in the morning. If I was to drink that much milk, I would actually have cramps all day long, believe it or not. Robert Jones asked, do you believe in muscle confusion? You'll have to elaborate on that. I've heard that term before, but I don't know exactly what it means. Yes, B. I eat a lot of fiber. I could drink a jug of milk a day if I could afford that. I could never drink that much milk. Oh my goodness. They'd have to pump my stomach. I don't hate milk. I don't get me wrong. I actually do enjoy milk on occasion, especially during the holidays. You pour a glass of milk, dunk your cookies in it. You have milk and cookies. I just can't drink a lot of it. Eric Brunhammer, I'm trying to resist a sandwich at Lanois. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but anyway, they have something called the Pasano. Man, what is with all these hard names? I tell you, it's a homemade prosciutto, Genoa salami, capicola, sharp provolone, homemade hot or roasted peppers. Oh man, that's my kind of sandwich. I'm telling you, I love everything on there, especially the sharp provolone. I can take it. A lot of people don't like that flavor, but I do. If you come down here, Eric, you got to bring one of those sandwiches to me. Ruben says, I remember putting syrup on a cereal with milk. Yeah, I mean, syrup is great on anything. I use real maple syrup. I'm not talking about the fake stuff like the log cabin, the stuff that they use high fructose corn syrup, and goodness knows what they make it out of. I use the real maple syrup that actually comes out of the tree. It's crazy expensive. One quart of it costs like $15, $20, but it's worth it. to be healthy, and I like the taste of it too. I'll have to look it up, Robert. Muscle confusion. I know the term. I just don't know exactly what it means. I'll have to look that up later. No, I've never had syrup with fish, and I don't think I ever will. The two things to me that go with fish, tartar sauce and cocktail sauce. And I usually like cocktail sauce better because a lot of places cannot make the tartar sauce properly. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just mayonnaise and relish and maybe some celery salt. But I don't know. A lot of the places around here, a lot of the seafood places just cannot make good tartar sauce to save their lives. Chris Barlow says he's on insulin, diabetic over 40 years now. Wow. I have respect for you being able to keep it under control like that. I mean, a lot of people can't. A lot of people just eat whatever they want. They don't exercise. And if you're a type 2 diabetic, chances are you got it from living the kind of lifestyle that I did, eating too much junk food, not exercising enough. That's generally how you get type 2 diabetes, because type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. Type 1 diabetes is usually something you're born with, and that's something that you really can't control. Type 2, on the other hand, is absolutely reversible, and you can control it with diet and exercise. Reviews for noobs. I love maple water. Get it for 10 cents each all the time. I have never heard of maple water. Sounds interesting, actually. Maple water is a clear liquid that flows from maple trees for a short time in early spring, also known as maple water, not capitalized. Goes through a natural process that infuses it with ingredients. People who drink maple water benefit from photochemical and hydration while enjoying a slightly sweet, faintly woodsy taste. Interesting. Let me see if any local places here carry it. Kroger has it. You've piqued my interest. I think I am going to actually pick some of that up. Calories aren't bad. One bottle's 30 calories. Sugar, 7 grams. Heck, I can handle that. Thanks for the tip. I'm gonna save that link and I'll pick some up the next time I'm in Kroger. I-386. I think syrup with fish is a southern thing. The cat's coming in. I do not eat much seafood. I do like the syrup on fish. Also, I will eat popcorn shrimp, but got to have lemon squeezed on it. I've had the popcorn shrimp from Red Lobster. I used to eat that all the time as a kid. Whenever we go to Red Lobster. Syrup, I still wouldn't eat syrup on fish. There's just no way. I'm up for trying a lot of new things, but that's just something I couldn't deal with. And we're having a big debate about different things you should eat and drink for diabetes. It really depends on what you have, honestly. You got to listen to what your doctor says. Milo's right here. I have no idea where Baxter is. He's probably on mom's bed. Generally, that's where you'll find him this time of night. Milo. Milo. The only way I'll get Milo over here is with the laser light. What you got? Oh, guess who came in? There's Baxter. Oh, yeah. It's funny. They used to play with this laser light all the time. Now it doesn't do anything for them. They're not in a playful mood. But if you want to see Baxter, he's right there. So we got Baxter there and Milo there. What are you doing? They're lazy. When it's raining out, they don't want to do anything. The heck is that? When you look near your monitor and on your monitor stand, you find a random F10 key. This is actually from a gaming keyboard. I think I saved it because I think the keyboard is buried somewhere in the closet in my keyboard tray. I didn't want to throw it out when I noticed the key was missing. Somehow the key got separated from the keyboard. Cats are doing fine. Milo is suffering a little bit from some kind of itch. You can kind of see him scratching himself over there. I think it's just allergy related. If it keeps up, I'll bring him to the vet and get him some allergy medication. There's Baxter in the chair right there. What you doing? What you doing, Bax? There you go. Now you can see Bax. What you doing, sweet boy? What you doing? Come here. Milo, no scratching. They're stinkers, especially Milo. Milo will scratch at the carpet constantly, and I gotta... Milo! No. You gotta discipline them or they're gonna run amok. Come here, come on. Wow. All right, buddy. There you guys go. You're getting your dose of Milo tonight. What you doing? Our friend that's staying over, he let her hold him for about 10 minutes on her lap. He won't even let me do that usually. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Say hi, Milo. Say hi to YouTube. Oh, he's not happy. Hey, buddy. There we go. See, everybody wants to see you. You give me good ratings, Milo. Yes, you do. Yeah, he's messy. He's a messed up cat. That's for sure. Then again, what cat isn't a little messed up in the head? Yeah, he didn't stay. You saw the vlog with him on her lap. He didn't stay long then, but there was another time before that. He stayed on her lap for about 5 or 10 minutes. See, everybody says hi. George says hi. Ruben says hi. Steven says hi to you. Good kitty. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I was talking to him and I spit a little on his forehead. Oh, Milo, I'm sorry. I know you must not have liked that. There's my mouth is dry. I got to take another sip of water. That was funny. He's probably like, did you just snot on me? No, we would never do that. Who, Baxter? Baxter's just chilling. So's Milo. It's really itchy, though. I have no idea what that could be. Any of you guys have cats that are itching like that or scratching like that this time of year? Itching. Itching is the feeling. Scratching is what you do. I'm thinking it might have something to do with the forced air heat. I know that my skin gets very dry. Yeah, I thought about fleas, but I've checked them. They don't have fleas. It's probably dry skin from the forced air heat because we just started using the heat a lot. And I know that my skin dries out like crazy. And if my skin can dry out, why not cat skin? Thunderstorms later. Well, hopefully not around here. I don't think we have any storms in the near future, at least not thunderstorms. I kind of wonder, though, what we're going to be in for this winter. The Farmer's Almanac calls for a very cold and wet winter. Now, that can mean a few different things. Cold and wet doesn't necessarily mean snow. Around here, if it stays over 32, 34 degrees Fahrenheit, then it's just going to be a cold rain. But if the jet stream dips a little further south, then you can expect like the temperatures to be in the 20s and 30s, and then would be a lot of snow in the area. Ooh, yes, I feel for you. Snow this early in the year, definitely not fun, especially when you have to shovel it. Hey, you know what though? If we do get a lot of snow, great exercise, right? Going out there and shoveling snow. But in all seriousness, you have to be careful because that's when a lot of heart attacks happen because people overexert themselves. Last year, I slept in when we had a snowstorm, and my dad actually shoveled the whole thing, almost the whole thing, and I actually got on his case about it. I'm like, Dad, you cannot do that all at once. That's just too much strain on your body. He, of course, didn't want to listen, but I at least said my piece. Yes, bye. I shovel my car out, lol, but sometimes I get lazy and go back and forth in drive the car. Yeah, if I had a lot of snow in my area, I'd keep it in the garage because I would not want to have to clean that thing off every single day. That would drive me absolutely crazy. Pup dog, what's your favorite food? Chicken in almost every single form. And I'll add turkey into that too. Chicken and turkey for me are right there about the same. If I had to give like a favorite dish, that's a toughie. That would probably be my oatmeal. I honestly love my oatmeal right now, at least for breakfast. For lunches, I like to have like a chicken or a turkey sandwich, and for dinner, pretty chicken and rice. Chicken and rice for dinner is my absolute favorite meal. Or for you people out there that are listening that are Hispanic, arroz con pollo. I-386 wants you to make a hot rod out of the PT Cruiser. Well, I tell you what, if somebody on here is willing to donate enough money to help me do that, I will do that. But as it sits right now, I don't have the money to do but just the basic things to get that thing on the road. And I'm not trying to solicit donations, per se, but I'm just stating the fact. That's going to be a secondary vehicle. It's going to be my beater car. I am not going to be putting tons of money into it that I don't absolutely have to. Unless, like I said, somebody wanted to donate money specifically for that purpose, and they said, Matt, here's X amount of dollars. Go ahead and put that towards upgrading the PT Cruiser. Then I would do that. But I don't know. We'll see if that ever happens. I-36 always wanted a Volkswagen Beetle hot rod. That would be cool. I would get one of the older ones. I've seen the retro mods where they put in big V8 engines in the back of the old VW Beetles, like the ones from the 50s, the 60s. And I've even seen a Super Beetle that had a Chevy Big Block 454 in it. That thing was bad, and you know the rest. I'm with you, Practins. I'm not a big fan of airbags either, and that's a problem in my PT right now. That's one of the things that's pretty much the only thing that needs to be fixed for it to pass inspection is the airbag lights on. And I'm hoping it's just due to a tensioner spring that's gone out. But even if I do have to replace the airbags, they're very inexpensive in the PT Cruiser. I looked it up on eBay. I can get them used, guaranteed. Driver side for about $25, passenger side for $45. So if it came down to that, I would honestly probably just buy them both. I'm hoping that it could be something as simple as a fuse. But because I'm bringing it in to get the diagnostic done anyway, I'm going to let Dillinger's figure that out. I might try to go down with my multimeter tomorrow and check some of the fuses, but I honestly think that I'm not going to find anything. I really think it's probably what the gentleman there told me it usually is the tensioner spring that goes behind the airbag. When that starts to wear, it causes the light to come on. Yep, just hit 54 minutes, 27 watchers, 13 likes. Come on, give me some more likes there. I know if you really like this, give me likes. And I heard somebody say that there were 5 dislikes before this even started. I'm guessing it must be trolls, because how can you dislike a video that hasn't even started yet? I don't know. Making a dune buggy out of a VW Beetle. I've seen that done too. That would be pretty cool to go over the sand dunes like in Arizona, Nevada. They did an episode of Pawn Stars there. Am I allowed to drive the PT Cruiser to the garage, or do I have to get it towed? Well, legally, I have to get it towed. Am I going to do that? I don't know. We'll see. Well, here's the thing. I can technically get it registered and add the insurance. So legally it'd be all right to drive, but it doesn't have an inspection sticker. So if a cop stopped me on the way there and wanted to make a federal case about it, he could give me a ticket. But honestly, the shop is only about 2 miles from the house, so I'll probably just risk it and drive it over there. Naughty boy, Matt. Well, sometimes we don't have much of a choice. I'm not going to pay a tow truck driver $80 to tow it 2-3 miles. That's just not going to happen. I'd rather risk getting the ticket, to be honest with you. Yes, Pradkins. He had just mentioned that about the airbag recalls. I do need to check it because there is a possibility that actually has a Takata airbag. Let me look that up. I'm going to need to do some more research on that, but yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I'll definitely look that up. Matt, you could rent a tow thing and tow thing. I like that, and pull it with the Dodge Ram. Yeah, I could, but that's probably what I'll do. Honestly, I'd probably do something like that. I can borrow. Heck, I have friends that my dad has friends that have trailers I could borrow, and I may actually have to do that because I don't know if the taillights are going to come in before I take it over there. Presense sensor. My Impala got the passenger airbag light on, and that's what it was. It's very possible. When I talked to the mechanic that's probably going to be working on my PT Cruiser, he didn't seem all that worried about it. He said it's usually an easy fix, and even if it isn't, if it winds up being an airbag, they're cheap to get anyway. I'm probably not going to worry. There's two lights on now in the PT Cruiser: the airbag light and the check engine light. The check engine light is only on because of the malfunction in the evap system, and it's probably just something like a crack in the vent hose coming out of the gas of the gas tank. And honestly, I'm probably not even going to bother fixing that right away because it's not an inspection fail. And because it's a secondary vehicle, I don't care if the check engine light's on. Heck, I'll put a piece of tape over it. Yeah, you can get them from U-Haul, but I have people that I can borrow trailers from. I'm not worried about that. Okay, that's a sensor that detects something or someone is in the seat and turns the airbag on and off. My PT Cruiser doesn't have that. It's the base model. As a matter of fact, if you look under the seats, they don't have any wiring at all because there's no power seats, no heated seats, nothing like that. Mine is just the absolute base model, which is the way I wanted it because it's going to be easier to fix. The base model will in more likelihood than not last longer because there's less in there to go wrong. Eric said, I might be buying a car trailer for my friend in Mineral, Virginia. That'll be cool. I'd like to see that. If you come down my way, please stop by. I don't mind that at all. I'm going to ignore Nick Roberts' comment because he's made that before and he knows what my answer is going to be. All right, tubers, I am about to end this thing. I am getting tired. My mouth is getting dry. A few other things I need to do tonight. Hope you guys are enjoying these. This is what, day 6? So I got one more day of this, and then we'll see what happens. Please continue to like and subscribe. Do me a favor. If you have not subscribed to my channel, take a few minutes. Go to my channel's homepage, click that subscribe button, and go next to there and click the bell icon, which will enable notifications, so you will get notified when new videos go up. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.